to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on Mix It Up Monday. This is a hop that I hostess over on Peacecraft Love Clubhouse on Facebook. This is a community group owned by Anna over at Peacecraft Love, and I have taken over the hops for that group. And so this month we have a fun sketch by Shannon. I'm going to post that sketch up here. Her links for her social media will be in the description box below my video, as well as a playlist for this month's hop. There is also a list of Instagram participants. Please check out everybody's channels and Instagram accounts and see what everybody else does with this sketch. This sketch is awesome, and I'm glad that Shannon sent it my direction to use, because it really spoke to me with the mixed media. I love that there is an L shape for the photos, and I do have 3 photos here. These photos were taken probably in April of 2017. I only know this because I am growing out my bangs in those photos, and how was that ever a chore? So my hair grows really slow, takes forever. I have product from my May counterfeit kit here to play with. Some of it you will recognize from my Stamp It Like It's Hot video. Like, I used this on that, and I used this paper on that, and there's some other product in here as well that I think I pulled and didn't use. And so I am gonna go ahead and start working on the mixed media portion of this. It is going to be incredibly simple because I don't know where my texture pastes are currently. So we're going to use what I have out, which are my Distress inks, and gonna get started. Alright, the very first thing I'm going to do is the ink smooshing technique. I have shared this on camera multiple times, and I'm sure that you've seen other creators do it as well. I smush down my Distress ink pad on that craft mat. I have put the craft mat over my glass mat because of the glare from the ring light and from the window over to my left. I'm going to be working on preventing that glare in the future, but right now, as I am unpacking my room, I'm just kind of making do with what I have out. So I take a very tiny piece of packaging, because the smaller the piece of packaging that you use for this technique, the more control you have over it. I'm going to add a second color because that one was really light. I like the light, but I'm kind of just making a few layers. And I said that this was going to be simple, and it is, but it does take multiple steps for me to finish off this background. I do bring in a couple of stamps here in a minute. I have a Wordy Bit stamp from a hip kit that I recently unpacked. The stamp, it was kind of lying low in a box, and I'm like, oh, well, I can do this. And so the next thing I do is I flip it over, because on the other side I have that flower that I used on my Stamp It Like It's Hot video on Saturday, and I just used both stamps. They're both on the same block, and I just flipped them over. That gives a little bit more texture in here. And now I'm going to bring in yet another color, and I'm going to do some splattering. So I don't feel like that this is enough at this point, so I let it dry for a little bit. Now I'm going to trim down a 1/2 inch off 2 sides so that I so I can use a mat behind this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and mat the white cardstock at this point using this Pink Fresh Studios paper. This paper is from their Some Days collection. It was in my May counterfeit kit. It's one that I stuck in there because I really wanted to use up some of that collection. I have quite a bit of it, and I have folders for my collections. They're plastic bins that I ordered online from the Container Store, or no, I think I actually had my husband pick them up when he was nearby a store. Anyway, I have those and I keep my collections in it, and currently my Pink Fresh Studio collections do not all fit in that container. It's probably good that they've stopped producing 12 by 12 paper temporarily. I hope it's temporary. It does give me a chance to empty out that box somewhat and make room for new collections if they do bring them out. So this is one of Vicki Boutin's. It's a new stencil set, new to me. I know that I think it's called her Mixed Media collection, is kind of a compilation of various other collections, and I didn't buy any of the paper from that collection, but I did find this set of stencils, which I didn't have. I don't know if they're a remake as well, but if they are, I didn't have them, so I purchased those, and I really like all three of the stencils that came in the set. So what you saw me do there is I did some stenciling with an ink, and now I brought in one of the new Distress Spritz sprays, and I sprayed that over the top. This is a close-up of the background. My hope is that you can see the spray, and you really can't. So next I am going to be going ahead and matting the photos with this beautiful paper from Life Right Now, which is also a Pink Fresh Studios collection. And it is also in my May counterfeit kit. I love this piece of paper, and I've used it a couple times just for borders because I love those rainbows. But I thought this was a great way to bring in all of the colors that I'm using on this layout by matting my photos. So I didn't mat all of them on, actually I did mat them all on camera, but then I edited some of it out because this video is already bordering on way longer than I prefer to put out for you all. So I mentioned, I think at the beginning of the video, that this sketch is a nice L shape. Usually when I think of an L shape layout, I'm thinking of an L shape made with patterned paper and not with photos. So this was fun to make an L shape with my photos. And I had these two floral bits, which were also in my May counterfeit kit. They came from Freckled Fawn. And my title is going to be This Amazing Day. I believe that's a Paige Evans set of phrases. They're puffy. I do have to glue those down individually with wet glue off camera because they absolutely will not stay on the paper. They just don't adhere very well, and so I always just add glue off camera. Now, as you can see, I have put the journaling down near that bottom photo, and you'll see here in a minute I will move it up where she had it in the sketch just to see what I think of it. I don't care for it, so I put it back right where it's at. I also noticed in her sketch she had these little strips that could be washi tape. I'm going to use some scraps of the pattern paper from my May kit and make little strips to mimic washi. This first one I get to cut in half perfectly with my trimmer. The next one is not quite as perfect, and I will trim it and make it straight off camera, of course, but that is kind of what I do. I'm not real great with scissors, and I probably should have just used scissors, but you know, I was trying to do it the fast way and it ended up not working that well. So here is where I start playing around with the journaling labels that I put. Now, they do end up where you see them here in the final layout, but you know, I wanted to see what they would look like up there where the journaling is in the sketch, and I just didn't care for it up there. I felt like it made it unbalanced because my bottom photo is so much smaller, shorter than the photos in her beautiful sketch. And so I put them back, and that's where they're going to end up landing. All right, I got this completely finished. I paused the camera so I could get some glue down on everything. I added this button off camera and the sequins from this little mix off camera, but other than that, you saw me do everything else on the layout. I did add some foam adhesive here and here just to give a little bit of texture and depth. I really love how that turned out. Those layers were really fun to play with. Let me turn my ring light on and see if we can't get some of that shimmer. You can kind of see it a little bit there. That's from this Distress Spritz, which is one of Tim Holt's new Distress Spritz sprays. There's a set of 12. I got them for my birthday in June, and this is the first time I've actually opened them up and played with them. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate all of my subscribers. You guys are just amazing to me, leaving me comments and likes. If you're not a subscriber and would like to be, you can click that button below. If you have any comments or questions about this layout, go ahead and drop those below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Again, make sure that you check out our Instagram hoppers. There are a few of those ladies listed down there below. They don't have YouTube channels, so they play along with us on Instagram, and they are extremely creative. Also, make sure that you check out that playlist for all the YouTube hoppers. Everybody who is participating this month will be linked below, and I hope that you will have or take the time to check out everybody's videos. We do have some amazing creators on this hop, and so I think you will be inspired by all who played with this sketch. And hello, welcome to another kitty. This is Phineas, and he is just now getting big enough to jump on surfaces. So I want to thank you again for being here. You guys have a great Monday and a great rest of your week. Bye.